This deck took me from rank 80 to Infinite in a matter of hours, and since hitting Infinite has gained me another 30 ranks within a day or two. The game plan is to play on curve every turn while locking down locations from your opponent, giving you an advantage in multiple locations early. In my opinion, the biggest reason this deck does well is that you minimize the impact of location RNG on your game plan. You will have far less unwinnable games than other decks. The main card to discuss before we hop into some gameplay is Quake. This card, to the best of my knowledge, is unplayed by basically anyone else, but it's been an absolute all-star for me. Playing Quake on 2 is sometimes good, but often it's best that you wait to play it on turn 4 after a Storm on 3, which can bait an opponent to overcommit to a location they think they need to play to before losing access. Maria Hill might seem like an odd inclusion, but she's actually excellent for any deck which needs to curve out. You'll almost always be able to play 2 cards on turn 3 or 4 with her drawn. Our 5-drop slots are Blue Marvel and Arrow. Blue Marvel is a must, but Arrow is actually a flexible slot. You can alternatively play Gamora. Matchups wise, as a tactical deck more so than a strategic one, we don't have much that we are always favored against, but we're even against most things at worst because of our dynamism in playing whatever locations arise. A key good matchup is the Avengers version of Location Control, which plays Professor X. That deck has been popular week 1 of this season, and we're favored against them. We are unfavored against other tempo decks such as Collector Dino, as they can stay even with us across all lanes using Sentinel, but have a stronger finish with Devil Dino. Locations-wise, we're a deck that wants to see locations that most decks dislike seeing. Locations where cards can't be played are snappable for us, and to be clear, this category doesn't mean you're always winning games where you see these locations. It means you're highly favored and should pressure your opponent with a snap. Locations where funny stuff happens, like Bar with No Name or the Nexus, are great for us. Quake can make your opponent suddenly insta-lose by making their best location their worst. By a similar logic, boon locations, such as Asgard or the Raft, are easy for us to bait an opponent into wrongly pursuing. We don't have many locations which we don't want to see, and most of them relate to going tall, such as Throne Room or World Ship. We won't be able to match the height of many other decks. Okay, game number 1, let's get right on into it. Oh, this guy I actually played a second ago and lost to before I started recording. I think he was playing Avengers version of this deck, so like Professor X, Gamora, that kind of thing. Death's Domain is a great location for us. We can maybe armor here first and then Quake or something. I don't know if we want to commit that straight away though. You can just Quake straight away. If he plays something somewhere else, then it might die. Oh no, we're not going first. That won't work this time. If we were going first, that would have been a very sick play. He would have killed his own Star-Lord here. He's playing Storm as well. Makes sense that he'd be playing it here. He's trying to do a very similar thing to our game plan, so I think we're favored in the mirror, so to speak, though. Ironheart is a great example of how we're favored, because even if he's trying to do the same kind of thing, we get more power in those locations that we play to. I think he's probably also running armor, so I'm kind of inclined to play into Death's Domain with armor here. It's gotta be armor, right? I don't know what else he'd be, or Professor X, I guess, is the other thing he'd be playing in Death's Domain. Yeah, Professor X would have been worse for us. We might not have been able to win in that situation. Actually, no, we would have definitely won, because if he had Jeff, we would have still had more power in the other 2 lanes. But this is the best case, because even if he has like a Doctor Doom, which some of the Avenger lists run, we've already got too much power in those other locations, so I think though he got me last time, I get him this time, which is good. Nice. I didn't retreat though, so he's still got the cube lead on me. Monster Metropolis is not a particularly good location for us. We don't really want go tall locations. It's kind of more important to play on curve than anything else with this deck. So even though you might be inclined to play a Nebula in this kind of position, I would recommend going for your 2-drop, and then hopefully you get to fit a Nebula in a little bit later, maybe on turn 4. The Vault is great for us. It's gonna be 2 locations he won't be able to play to a little bit later. I pretty much always snap whenever a can't play location comes up, because we're able to play around that so much better than most other decks. Also, Storm here we want to do on Attilan because we really don't want to shuffle this hand away. We have Blue Marvel into Doctor Doom, and we've got full use of our mana on turn 4 here as well, so it's like perfect curve out. Sentry. If he plays Viper, that's okay. We're least committed to the right lane currently, and that's him wasting time there. We could develop somewhere else instead, but I think we also might just be able to get around that 10 power by playing Marvel. Valkyrie is better for us than it is for him here, I think. I don't think you can get enough power across all 3 locations. If we're already winning all 3 and he has Doctor Doom too, then we're still winning all 3, especially with Blue Marvel. Cool. We need to draw some more middle of our curve stuff, but it's good to have Iceman on 1. Don't be Nebula. Okay. Yeah, it's bad if you play a 1-drop that isn't Nebula into a Nebula on 1. Missing a 2-drop is so unfortunate. Really shouldn't be happening with this deck. But sometimes that is just the way it is. Guess we Storm here. Try and make him play, right? If we find a Quake, there's an opportunity to do something kind of tricky with Hala here, because we could get to 5 power in the left location. He's unlikely to commit cards there. Oh, that's a perfect draw. So you Quake the middle location and put Jeff in the left location, and there's a 50-50 chance that he loses his left location cards. And we don't care about losing Storm for what that's worth. Oh, that's brutal for him, dude. So Quake was just a 2/3 that destroyed 2 cards. Pretty solid effect there. We're so far ahead because he can't play in the middle location as well. Like, winning that left location like that was good. Although Abomination is a surprising drop. Didn't really see that one coming. I'm not sure how much power we want to commit to the left location now. The only thing to really consider is whether we move Jeff, but I think this is fine. Well, he wasn't winning no matter what there, so I'm not sure what the idea was. Oh well. Thanks for watching, guys. I don't play most games on PC, so these stats aren't completely accurate, but I had an average of around 2 cubes per game across the 21 that I tracked after I hit Infinite. This deck is worth your time, and if you're a good tactical player, Quake is one of the least expected, most impactful cards that you can play. If you liked this video, please subscribe and check out my Twitter, where I post clips of my gameplay and deck ideas every so often. Thanks for watching.